of prices. So whether it's band merchandise, sporting teams, promotional garments or workwear, they've got you covered. So hit them up at www.blacklightad.com.au or email them at info@blacklightad.com.au. So big thanks to those guys for helping us to bring you this podcast each and every week, and for, of course, supporting the metal scene. So now it's back to Rabid Noise.
And we're back on Rabid Noise with Ben from The Charge. Now, you're currently on the road in support of the album. How's this stuff been going live, the new material?
Yeah, really good, really good. You can tell the people that have bought the album because they're getting into it and singing along to the lyrics, to the words. But it's getting pretty well received where people sort of think we're like this rock stoner band, but after we play, they're like, "Oh, you're more metal." It's like I haven't been to a metal show for years, and we're like, "Well, we're not metal, but I can see where you're coming from there, because like the old school riffage and all that kind of stuff." But no, the shows have been well received, and we've been headlining this tour so far. So we get to obviously play at the end, and we get to see some really cool bands, and all those bands have been going, "Oh, we want to check you out." So they're all hanging out to see us play, and it's really cool. And it's great to have people getting into it and being right up the front instead of standing up the back with their arms crossed, sort of just watching you. So it's really cool to have people going off at the front, which makes you play better and just go with it, really.
Yeah, it does, man. When you can see that people are getting into it, it makes you go harder, hey?
Yeah. And you kind of, it's actually, I was talking about this the other week at our album launch with a couple of the guys from Lily from Sydney and the 10,000 Boys. And it's kind of like when there's no one there except the bands and the sound guy that you're playing to, or maybe one or two people, you kind of you tend to overplay because you're trying to like impress these one or two people, and you kind of overthink your playing because you're trying to impress. I don't know what it is, but then once the room's full and there's people going off, it's kind of like you don't think about impressing anyone, and you just play and people are going off, and you don't really. It's kind of like you're in your rehearsal space, and when you're just rehearsing and you just. Yeah, you don't get nervous or anything like that. It's a weird kind of experience.
That's awesome, man. Well, you're wrapping up the tour with an acoustic show in Melbourne. Whose idea was that?
That was the Ash's idea, and the bass player and the guys kind of said, "Well, let's Julian and the bass player Julian," and we're kind of like, let's kind of do an unplugged thing. We did a thing a year and a half ago, or nearly 2 years ago, Grumpy's Green in Collingwood in Smith Street. We did a 5-week residency on a Sunday. They asked us to play.
Holy
it was
crap.
for a DC coffee company or something, and
Wow.
they threw some money at some bands, and the boys from Bug Dust played a couple of weeks with us, and we kind of were like the band that played every week. And then we kind of like had guest bands play with us, and it went down really well. And it kind of has that old 90s Alice in Chains, Nirvana, Pearl Jam unplugged kind of feel to it. So we do a few things different with the songs, and actually probably the press release that you got's different because we've changed that date till the new year because we landed King of the North support for their homecoming show on the 28th of November. So that hasn't actually been sent out yet. So sorry, but we're playing. We pushed the acoustic show back, but it will kind of, the tour's going to go as long as the album's still pushing it out there. And then, so it's the same lineup. We've actually got Shannon Trotman from Bug Dust playing with us. And I don't know if you've heard of a band called Bottle of Smoke up that way, but Erin Kelly, they had a couple of guys from Electric Mary in that band for a few years. And Erin writes for a bit for Erwin Thomas, Jack Jones. So they're kind of this Stone Temple Pilots-y kind of band. So Erin's known around Melbourne, so it's that lineup, and then we're going to kind of headline. And we're going to bring in the girl that played violin and cello on the recording, because there's a bunch of tracks with her playing on it. So we're going to get her to play on the songs that we had her play on the recording for Order of the Hour. So we'll play them and we mix it up. And we've always played a couple of covers when we've done acoustic stuff. So we do a Doors song and we do Underneath the Radar from New Order.
Oh, cool.
Which goes really well. It's actually, you can see it on YouTube. There's a YouTube clip of it and there's a sound. You go to SoundCloud and there's a recording of it from those Grumpy Greens shows that we did with Underneath the Radar. So that's pretty funny.
Yeah, that's right. I'm going to have to check that out, man.
Yeah, check it out. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. Well, we will, of course, see you in our neck of the woods on November 13. That's at Currumbin Creek Tavern. It looks like it's shaping up to be a pretty damn epic show, man. Did you hit the coast last time you toured?
The last time we played, we did Byron and we just did Brisbane, so we missed out on playing the Gold Coast. So this time round, the venue had a free opening for that weekend, and it just worked out perfectly. So, yeah, for the 13th, and we're doing the 12th in Byron, and then the 14th in Brizzy. But, yeah, we're looking forward to it. And some really cool bands on the bill, local guys, the Molotov, and Flannelette.
Yeah, they're awesome bands, man. Awesome. And awesome guys, too.
Yeah. And I think... who was the other band? There's one more that's playing in. Oh, no, they couldn't make it. It was Versus Fate were going to do some shows with us, but they couldn't do it in the end.
Oh, bummer. It looks like it's going to be an awesome gig, and I'll definitely be there. It's
yeah, cool.
Yeah, hell yeah, man. November 13th, Currumbin Creek Tavern, and yeah, get on down, have a few beers. It's going to be sick, man.
Yeah, we're really looking forward to it. And that'll be three shows in the row for us. So we haven't done that for a while. So that's going to be cool. That'll be a test of the stamina for us because we're driving up too. So we're gonna leave like Wednesday night after work, drive straight up and do Byron Bay on the Thursday night, and then obviously we get to have a sleep in, probably go to the beach, and then set up and play the 13th.
That's rad, man. I'll have to come down and catch up for a beer beforehand. But
come and have a beer.
What's next for you guys after this run of shows?
So we got so then we head back to Melbourne and we picked up the support for King of the North because they've been in Europe for the past 3 months. So they're doing a homecoming show in Melbourne at the Ding Dong Lounge. So we picked up that last week, which is pretty cool. So we're doing that show, and then we've got the last show for the year is we're playing the Tote. It hasn't been fully announced yet, but it's kind of like a rock barbecue at the Tote on the 27th of December, so the day after Boxing Day. And Witch Grinder are headlining that show. El Colosso, there's going to be us. I think Red Sky Burial, another Melbourne band I mentioned before, they're playing. I think there's going to be a couple of others, so it's going to be like an afternoon kind of like a mini festival kind of thing. So we've been asked to play that. And then 2016, we've got a bunch of shows in January, and we'll put out a new single. And we're just talking to Reggie, because Reggie Bowman, who did the album, also does our film clip. So we're just talking to him about the new concept for the third single and film clip tonight. So we'll probably get that underway after Christmas and have that out ready to go for kind of February, I reckon. We'll have that out, and then we'll do another run of shows come up your way again, but we'll talk about that when we organise it. But that's the goal, is to keep doing that. And we've got interest from a label in LA that they're just working with us over there, taking our songs to college radio, and they're distributing us over there, and they want to get us over there to play some shows in the spring of 2016. So that's like April, May, June over there on the West Coast. So we don't know yet. That might happen, it might not, but that would be pretty cool to go over there for a couple of weeks and play some shows from San Diego to Seattle. So that might be pretty cool.
Awesome, man. Well, it's definitely, as I said before, it's all coming up Millhouse for you, dude. It's going to be rad. Rad times ahead.
Yeah, it is. It's really cool.
We're going to go to the track Acid in My Veins now. Thanks for hanging tonight, man. And, of course, we'll see you in a couple of weeks' time.
No worries, Nev. It's really cool. We look forward to seeing you and everyone that wants to come along and check us out, plus the other bands as well. Be really cool.